Welcome to our team call tonight. This is a call for the Divvee Social Gurus on March 16th, 2017. Got a lot of developments, a lot of good things going on at Divvee, a few challenges as well. We're still in that startup phase, very public, sometimes slightly painful startup. But I'm happy to say that from my perspective, I see nice improvements, but plenty of challenges along the way. Tonight, we are fortunate to have the president of the affiliates. We have Lance Conrad with us. Lance is the voice for Divvee. He's got his finger on the pulse of all things Divvee, and he can help catch us up on where things are currently. I know we've got some challenges, Lance, but I also know we've got some good things on the horizon. I'm just going to turn it over to you so you can work your magic and get us all up to date.
Outstanding. Hey, thanks guys for chiming in from wherever you're listening tonight. I'm chiming in from my office in Lehi, Utah, just south of Salt Lake City. Lance Conrad. I've been married. Next week it will be 19 years, which is a little bummer because I sort of think I'm 19 years old. But I have three daughters, 17, 14, and 10. And be a great time for you. If you have any questions on life, I would implore you to come and talk to my 17-year-old. She still knows everything. So if there's anything you need answers to or any questions I can't answer for you, feel free to talk to my oldest daughter. I love my family, love my wife, love my girls. I do a lot of concerts and recitals and dance performances and all things pink. Lots of estrogen. And my professional career, I started as a headhunter and was a technical recruiter for about 10 years, owned my own firm for most of those, and actually wrote a few books on it, trained recruiters across the country. And then in 2008, got into the world of network marketing. And I have been on both sides. I have been an affiliate. I have built teams in 50 plus countries. I have been a top recruiter in a couple of different very large companies, some of the largest companies in the world I've hit the top ranks of. I've also been on the corporate side. I've created a company from scratch. I've helped consult several large and several small companies. And along the way, I actually was introduced to Darren O'Lyon and I really, really fell in love with the CEO of Divvee, just his heart and his belief that that our responsibility is to help people in all aspects of their life, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, all of the above. And so that's my background. That's what brings me here. Darren said, hey, we could do something that can change lives. You need to come take a look at Divvee. And so where are we at today? Where are we going? How are we going to get there? Those are some of the questions, some of the mechanics, some of the things that people are waiting for. I would tell you today we've got a lot of things that we got to get fixed. Actually, I want to share with you a story, and then I'll use that story to sort of tell the analogy. I like stories because people remember the stories. And I like sports stories. I'm going to share one of my favorite athletes of all time. When I was growing up, I liked to watch Barry Sanders play football. And I like to watch Barry Sanders because in my era, he was the greatest running back of his day. He always played for the Lions, and they were a terrible team, but they were fun to watch because they had this running back he was short and he had these great big legs and he could cut on a dime. And he just did the most amazing, incredible runs where he'd make 2, 3, 4 people miss and score a touchdown. And he was just fun to watch. In fact, he became a Hall of Fame running back. He was, at the time he retired, it's been surpassed, but he was the second leading rusher of all time, and retired really in his prime. He most people thought was going to be the all-time leading rusher, and just decided to step away from football. A great linebacker of his day was being interviewed by ESPN, and they said of Barry Sanders that if you ran into him, if you were going to run and try to tackle him in the open field, you knew you were going to miss. He's just too quick and too fast. You knew it. You knew you were going to miss. But you didn't want to miss so bad that you ended up on SportsCenter. And that's really how he made people feel, because people would always end up on SportsCenter chasing Barry Sanders, usually because they missed so bad they just ended up whiffing and ending up on the ground. So at that day, there was an interview towards the end of Barry's career. We didn't know at the time it was the end because he was still in the prime. He was the best in the business. There was a young up-and-coming running back running for San Diego State University, and his name is Marshall Faulk. And the interviewer asked Barry Sanders. Marshall Faulk was breaking all sorts of college records, was about to come out of college and go pro. And the interviewer, the reporter, said, Barry, this is one of the greatest running backs of all time in his prime, do you think Marshall Faulk, this unproven kid from college that's doing great things in college, but he's still in college, Barry, do you think that Marshall Faulk is the next Barry Sanders? And Barry quickly replied, don't you dare do that. Don't you put limitations on this man's potential. He could be better than I ever was. And I love that. Coming from this champion, he said and saw the potential for greatness in another and said, don't limit the greatness. So people have asked me, why are you at Divvee when you've had some really big companies and some really big projects you've been working on prior to Darren saying, hey, we need you here at Divvee. We got some unfinished business about how to help people change lives and how to help people physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, all of those things. Why here? I believe for what I've seen in the industry, Divvee is unique and the potential is greater than anything I've been involved in or seen before. I don't know. I was just talking to Richard and Troy today, two great visionaries themselves, and I said, I don't know if we know how big this could become. Because what we have is we're filling a gap in the media world today where large corporations, marketing companies, media companies, they used to know how to reach us. There was 3 channels on television, there were some radio stations, and if I had enough money, I could get my product to market. I could get in front of you, I could get your time, I could get you to like, follow, or at least know what my products are. People don't watch television anymore. We record television. There's hundreds of stations, and we don't watch any commercials because we record television. Radio is XM radio, and people are not listening to the commercials like they used to. And now we're going to the internet and trying to find answers, and most companies are not very effective at internet marketing. And here's what we know. We've been asked to give our opinion, to give our feedback, to watch commercials, to answer surveys from anything from TV to radio to restaurants even now. You can't even get a meal without them asking you to take a survey. And we've been doing it for years, and people have been paying money to hear your opinion and get your feedback. And now Divvee comes along and says, we will pay you that marketing and advertising dollar. And we'll let those companies come directly to you and buy that time and that opinion and that voice that they've been stealing from you, somebody else has been selling to other people. We want you to get paid for your opinion and potentially share that with your team and what have you. What do I think? I know that there's a demand for this, that affiliates want to get paid for their opinion, for their voice, that the idea that every single person that is active and involved in Divvee could win is viral. People are excited about that. And the idea that if I have a team of people that I could win exponentially is holy cow, because there's almost no barriers to entry. There's no monthly fee. There's just a little upgrade on a starter thing. You barely don't even have to explain it. And marketing and advertising companies are feeling this demand because they don't know where they can target their audience. They don't know how they can get in front of their customers. And so we're looking at this little niche there that companies have not identified the best ways today to spend their marketing and advertising dollars to get in front of you, the people. Whether that's politicians, whether that's corporations, whether that's marketing or advertising companies, there is a demand. And the types of companies that have been walking through the doors at Divvee, the types of executives, the types of some of the largest, most powerful marketing and advertising firms in the world have said, There is a demand for your company, and we want to help you deliver it. We want to help you get where you need to be. And so if I look at the upside of Divvee, I don't know what to compare it to, because you got to start comparing it in terms of platform and growth and exponential potential to companies like Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat that are social media, but those were not built for commerce. And only later did they figure out how to monetize them. I don't think you can compare it to any networking company on the planet, network marketing company, because we don't really have a starter fee. I mean, you know, there's a little enrollment fee, but we definitely don't have a monthly fee. And every person in the company, every month that they participate, can win. I haven't seen that anywhere else in the industry of networking or network marketing. So if I sold you on potential today, I would say, holy cow, you couldn't be at a better place. You couldn't be at a better time. You couldn't have a better opportunity than you do at Divvee. If I were to talk to you about the mechanics of what we're delivering today, I would say we're terrible. We're just not good enough. We're small, and we're a startup in every sense of the word. And I apologize for that. I apologize for you, for those that have been a part of it and been out telling it and touting it and getting excited about it. Our enrollment process just isn't good enough today. We're cleaning it up. It should be much better by the end of this month. There's some things coming out and rolling out that we should get back to a really simple, quick, fast, and easy enrollment process. That's a huge, huge piece of what I message internally with corporation every day is our field needs to get and enroll people faster and easier. We're working on it. We've got tens of thousands of advertisers right now that have said they want to market with us today, but because they didn't fit the format that we built our app around, which was videos and apps, we're scrambling on the app development side to integrate different types of content to you. Surveys, sweepstakes, email offers, free product giveaways. And you're going to see a lot of different types of content coming out, and you're going to start seeing us test those, and you're going to hear about test market groups of different types of content and advertisers and marketing companies that want different ways to get their voice, their message to you. And we're trying to integrate that into a platform or into an app. And yes, we haven't given up on this idea of videos and apps. We just know that the companies that we started with have not been easy, and Darren did a great job of explaining that in that video today. If you haven't seen it, go watch it online. They just haven't built or fulfilled or delivered the way we expected going in. And so we've committed to delivering you a daily action and a product that can give you points and a product that can give you commissions for your daily actions. We're going to work on that, improve that, and deliver that, and continue to roll that out and improve upon it week after week, month after month. And in 3 months, you're going to see a much different Divvee than you do today. And in 6 months, you'll see a much improved Divvee than you will in 3 months. And in a year, I don't know what the delivery will look like. I don't know what the content will look like, but I believe it could be very different than anything we've imagined up to this date. And we are working on different things that we can roll out to you to build in, to build with now, to hang your hat on now, to have you have success now. And so we're trying very quickly to pivot as a new company to accommodate people like yourselves that have been the pioneers, the believers, the ones that saw the vision before it existed, and say, how can we help you, take care of you, have you taste some success now, knowing that a full, complete delivery of what we want to deliver is going to be a process. And really, Divvee will be a work in progress for years to come as we evolve, grow, perfect, and improve how we get marketers and advertisers from around the world to get their message in front of you in different, creative, and better ways that will compensate you more on a daily basis for your opinion. What am I telling you? I'm telling you a lot of our stuff is just not good enough today, but it continues to see improvements. And you're going to see some really cool things. I hope that we roll out a really cool program, and our goal is by the end of the month. I try not to give us deadlines because we've missed too many of those. So when I have a fixed product with a fixed deadline and I give it to you, I want you to start believing that you can count on it. And so I'm trying to distill all of the information internally and give you the things that you can count on, that you can start to plan for. And we want to start earning back your trust by hitting deadlines, by hitting game plans, and by hitting rollouts, and helping you succeed in baby steps, one step at a time, then 2 steps, and then 3 steps, and then we're going to deliver the whole Divvee the way we really envision it. Apple, I just saw that, Apple products will not be rolled out or supported in Divvee until we've completed the fixes on how we deliver content this month. I'm hoping that sometime in April we'll be able to go support Apple. Every time we make these tweaks, fixes, and changes, it makes it more difficult for us to get Apple into the back office. So with that today, the updates are, we're working on it. It will get better. We're recalibrating, retooling, and looking to make a big push towards the end of the month. I see another one on payment. You need to go in and make sure your account is completely updated, your profile is completely filled out, picture, email, password, everything in your profile. There's no red marks in your profile anymore. It's been completely filled out. And then click on the GPG submission. We will, on our side, have to activate that you are in the system correctly, that you're a unique person. And then what it does is invites you to enroll on GPG. And it's very important you and your teams do that now, so that we can pay you out next week on the 24th. And so if you haven't done that, go do a complete, go make sure that your profile is filled out completely. If you've done it, go double check it. And then click on the GPG link. And if it doesn't show up right away, just know that internally we have to validate that you are a real unique user. And then you'll get a GPG invite, and then you'll have to put in all of your information for your bank account so that you can get paid through GPG, which will roll out on Friday. So that is some good stuff, some good updates, some good vision, and a reality check on where we're at today. We're a startup and we're in beta, and we're going through some bumps and bruises of having to change direction. But I believe people don't realize the potential. And those that can stick with us through these bumps and bruises, the opportunity to take this to market and blow it through the city, the state, the country that you live in, and help us take this vision around the world is potentially life-changing type earnings and exciting. And for those that are so caught up on the details and the deliverables and the what's there today and why don't I see enough today and why is it so hard today and all that stuff, if that really gets to you, which for some people it just does, and I can't apologize for that. It just is. It's just, I mean, I do apologize for that. I should. I wish I could fix it for you. You know, the bugs and tweaks and things that we're sort of getting right. If that's your personality and that stuff drives you crazy, I'd say, yeah, relax, take a breath, maybe check back with us in 3 months and see how much it's improved, and check back with us in 6 months and see how much further it's gone by. And I would say that the risk of checking out for that period of time is missing it. So if you can handle it, take a breath, be patient, and wait for our next rollout and our next launch, because it'll be a cool promotion with great commissions and great benefits, and we're working on it. So what other questions, Todd, what else did I miss today? What else could I add for your team tonight?
Well, as far as inventory, it sounds like we're going to get some upgrades in the inventory, the activities that we can participate in. Yes. What might those look like in the future? Where do we think we're going? What are we going to see in the way of an upgrade in quality? If you had to guess today.
Yeah, so this is stuff that I don't have dates on, so I'm just talking to you in hypotheticals, and then as I have deliverables, I'll start talking more about when, where, and how much and all that stuff. Videos and apps are going to go away the way you see them today. The clients we built this around have not been good customers, so they're gone. Are they gone forever? No, because there are other clients out there, and potentially we can create our own system and our own network as we grow, and we can bring it back and roll it out the way we intended. So videos and apps are not dead or gone forever, but today they're gone. What you're going to see right now is you're going to see surveys that come out. You're going to see sweepstakes that come out. You're going to see free product giveaways that come out. And the testing on some of these products started already this week. So some affiliates have been selected and are getting tests and test inventory and are working on it. The biggest thing there isn't the inventory. There's a lot of it. A lot of companies that already have this that would like us to do it for them. It's the integration of that and being able to support that in our system. So that's what you're going to see in the short term. And then as we grow our numbers and have a little bit more pull and sway, I think you'll start to see videos return and potentially videos for more traditional businesses as well than just apps. It won't just be videos and apps, but videos representing other types of companies and other types of interaction with marketing and advertisers.
All right. How about points? I know that we've run into a few snags with points. Do we think we'll be able to integrate those back into Divvee at some point?
Yeah, so everything was built around points for the end consumer and commissions for the team build. And that still is the model for Divvee. It never changed. The only reason why it changed at all is because these particular clients that we started with said, you can't do that. We won't let you, or we'll terminate you. So as we roll in new types of inventory, we plan on bringing back points and the redemption center and paying people for their own opinions and their own actions. What does that mean? It means right now there's no reason to be a free member in Divvee. But if we roll back, if we start bringing in benefits for being part of the Divvee family, add-ons and benefits, and we bring on points for personal actions, then the free member program will be a very strong, integral part of our growth as you roll this out. So 100% points will be back, benefits are coming, and free members will return. If you haven't heard me talk about free members over the last few weeks, is because I've only been focused on affiliates, because free members, the way we're structured today, do not make sense. But soon, that's never left as being a big part of our plan.
Okay, fantastic. Now, you mentioned that the enrollment process is being cleaned up and improved. With that, do you think we're going to see a link that we could share with many people at once?
Yes.
To do mass enrollments for like our bloggers?
Yes, 100%.
Oh, fantastic.
Priority, that's a priority. That is on all the lists of things that we need to get right and improve, that's near the top of that list.
Good. That's good to hear.
It needs to be simpler to enroll people. The Divvee message is so simple that it doesn't need a big sales presentation with a presenter, seller, closer. It doesn't need to, it sells itself. It makes sense. Why wouldn't you try it? It just does. And with that, we can do different forms of marketing and messaging to push out and have people enroll that might not be successful with a more traditional sales model, a higher price point, a bigger barrier to entry. But if we don't give you a link and a really simple enrollment process, we slow that whole process down by just complicating it. So a link's huge. Sales video, I see. Sales videos we started with when I first got here, and we've just been making changes so frequently that we sort of slowed that process. It doesn't make a ton of sense to put a sales video together when by the time you release it, it's no longer current, relevant. So we've got a really cool, excellent marketing team. And some of the stuff that they're rolling out in terms of look, feel, and design are going to be really fun. And it'll be exciting to see them put together some sales material for you guys and things that'll help simplify messaging.
Okay. I have some folks in other countries that are interested. Other countries that that aren't the really difficult ones. I know China, South Korea, India are very difficult, and they're long-term projects as far as Divvee becoming qualified. But how about some of the countries like Mexico that would be on a short list, or the UK, fairly short list?
Yes.
How do we deal with them?
We're going to do some messaging and some rollout and some game planning on international. We'll have a presentation really treating and taking on that message. However, today I would tell you, let us get it right here. Give us some time to get it right in one country before we look on 5, 6, or 12 or 20. We know there's a demand in all these other countries, and I'm trying to get us to slow down a little bit and get it right, and then grow it. If we get it right in one country, the ability to expand, it's not that difficult. The countries and the pushback and the legalization process hasn't been that hard. So there is a handful of companies on our short list. As we roll back up and really start to scale back up with the U.S., we'll get into those countries quickly, and we'll have a whole international expansion plan that we'll start messaging to you. But today I would tell you, I feel like we're sort of on a pause everywhere. Take a break. Let us get it right. Let us recalibrate, pivot, and come out firing better than we have so far.
Okay. All right. Occasionally I hear rumors about other countries, products, things that are going on. How do we know we're getting the straight information? Who's the best source for information for us at Divvee?
Yeah, so you've got a lot of different voices and a lot of different friends that know people, and people are reaching out to different executives and what have you. I would tell you in general, please don't. All of you, please don't. If they're talking to you, these executives all love you and want you to succeed and consider you friends and family and want to answer questions and all. But if they're reaching out and doing calls and doing meetings or answering questions for you, there's a few problems with that. One, most likely they're doing it at the expense of a project that is really important to the future direction and delivery of Divvee. And they might be stopping to answer a question for an individual or a team, but it's hurting the company because they should be doing something else. And I know that's hard because everybody's important. But yesterday I had a group that just started lighting up my phone. It was all urgent. It was all life or death. And it was like 40 text messages. And it was like, now, what's going on? Fly out there right now. Barge in there. Get the answers. And I'm getting all these text messages while I'm in meetings addressing the problems that they wanted resolved. And I'm in meetings with the technical team trying to solve the problem. It was either I solved their problem and then I can get on calls with them, or I get on calls with them and then their problem gets pushed back. And it's like, these people need to do their job. Our CFO needs to be doing the financials, and our CEO needs to be creating the partnerships and securing the relationships that drive our country. So I would say don't, because they should be doing something else. The second thing is there's so much vision and direction, so many things going on in Divvee today about our future and where we're going, but a lot of it's ideation and it's changing. And so internally, what I've been charged to do is grab all of the ideas, grab all of the executives, bring the best ones out to our operations team and our technical team, figure out which of those are reality, start testing those, and then put together a game plan for testing, implementation, and a rollout strategy, and message the ones that are real with a game plan and a rollout strategy to the field when we feel confident that we'll hit deliverables. So I'm trying to be the voice of reality as opposed to the voice of vision and direction. And I am the voice of Divvee to the field. So if you do hear other rumors, other voices, other people that get on calls, regardless of their position or title, buyer beware. They might be talking about something today that tomorrow is a fantasy and will never roll out. If you hear it from me, I hope that over time I earn your trust, that I've done the research, asked the questions, talked to the implementation, figured out a game plan, a strategy, and a rollout, and have a confidence in our execution. And I give you products, timelines, and rollouts that we start to hit and that you can count on. If you hear it from another voice, buyer beware. Probably shouldn't be talking to them. They shouldn't be talking to you. If you get it from me, I hope you prove over time. I prove over time that I've done a lot of homework, and I share it with you when I feel very confident of the reality of what I'm sharing. So, yes, that's my job, is to be the voice. And thank you for asking.
We have a weekly leadership call, and I can tell you folks that when Lance talks to us about what's going on, he's telling us the same thing: the good, the bad, the ugly, and the upside and the potential. What we're hearing today is no different from what I heard last night on the leadership call, which is really nice, really refreshing to know that we're getting the real scoop, straight answers. So I like that. Hey, next week on our team call, we're going to have a guy named Rob Sperry
He's
on
awesome.
the call. I met him in passing at the office there at Divvee about a month ago, and I've seen him pop up frequently lately in connection with Divvee. So what is he up to? What's his connection, and what can he bring to our team?
Yeah, guys, that is such a coup for this company. I can't tell you enough good things about Rob Sperry. He was actually just voted by Business for Home as the #1 trainer in networking in the world. He was a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, was picked as one of the 20 most influential networkers on the planet, ahead of billion-dollar business owners, visionaries, legends in the industry like Eric Worre. He was picked over all of them. He was featured last year in Networking Times several times, and including was picked as the article of the year. He is the most insightful trainer in the industry, and I've met and heard trainings by most of them. And he does it with just a sense of reality. He's not a hype guy. You feel very like he's giving it to you straight, but he's able to take ideas that people have pieced together over years and deliver them in such a way that they make sense, or expound upon them and deliver them in a way that you've never heard before. And it might be a bunch of ideas that he was able to put together in a simple way that for you will come across as the first time. I believe he's the best trainer in the industry. I know billion-dollar companies seek his advice for strategy. I know some of the top networkers on the planet, 10 million, 20 million, $30 million plus earners, come to him for advice on how to build, how to grow strategy. He's the best. And for him to be the master trainer for Divvee, that he has a role to help assist, train, and work with you guys in all the company, put him to use. Take notes. He's the best. Go follow him on Facebook. Go join his the Game of Networking Facebook page. He's coming out with a book called The Game of Networking. He's the best. I'd learn from him, utilize him, and I wouldn't miss if he was training. Oh, and by the way, he's my best friend.
Oh, that kind of helps. Yeah, the call last night, Lance mentioned that Rob is really good about communicating with those of us who need him. And I tested that last night. We got off our call. It was well after 9 o'clock last night. I shot a text to Rob. I let him know that we had a need to have him address our team next week. I heard back within 2 minutes. And he said he could do it, cleared his schedule for us, and we've got it next Thursday. And I was really impressed. Really impressed.
The guy has an ability to just keep and connect and respond, and he's great. So having him is a huge coup. He would not affiliate himself or be a part of this company if he didn't believe in it. Guys, you're in the right place. This is a good company. It's a good company to be at. Not necessarily today, but potential is hard to calculate, and our potential is great.
So what should we be doing right now as a team? What sort of activities should we be involved in? I know that we're slightly stalled as far as the regular Divvy activities, but I'm still very active. I know what I'm doing. What should we as a team be doing? What should we do?
I would be doing team calls like you are. I would be doing, keeping people warm, keeping people informed, keeping people excited. But I also wouldn't be beating my head against the wall. I wouldn't be going nuts. I wouldn't be trying to recruit thousands of people. I wouldn't, if the enrollment process is a pain and the inventory is not there and there isn't a benefit there, you're recruiting people on a dream, and that's a hard recruit, and Divvy shouldn't be a hard recruit. So I would take a breath. I would probably line up some of my key leaders. If I had a couple of really people I just know would be the best, I might start warming them up or getting them on a couple of the calls so that they know it's coming, tease them, get them excited. But I would be gearing up and I'd be putting my list together because we will get it right. We will roll it out. We will have some huge benefits for engaging, enrolling, and for our next push. We have some really pretty cool, exciting benefits coming out. And I wouldn't check out. I would just sort of take a breath, regroup, and get ready, because as we go live again, we're going to go the fast and the furious.
All right. I know that we've got a lot we're doing as leaders of the team. We're still working on some Facebook strategies, technology, quite a few other things that we're working on, even some marketing pieces we're still developing. We don't know a few of the details, but we do know that some parts won't change, such as networking, team building, growing our influence. Those are the sorts of activities we can be involved in, and that will leverage us really well into the next Divvee rollout, the next push.
Yep.
So we're pursuing that in earnest.
And you guys have some really cool tools that potentially set you apart from anybody else trying this. So guys, if you're a part of this team, you're a part of this group, you're positioned really well, and your leaders are tied in very closely with the Divvee corporate team, and you're sitting in a place that if you miss it and fall asleep and let it take off without you, you'll come back and regret it. But if you can sort of ride through some of our storms and stick together and get ready and get excited and fire up, you guys are tied in at the top of something special.
All right. Well, Lance, we really appreciate your time. I know that you have been working your tail off this last week, helping all the teams and solving problems at corporate. So we appreciate having you on the call and having you take the time to be with us. I want everybody else to stay. Lance, you can stay if you want, but everybody else can stay for sure, because I've got a few resources we need to share.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Todd, for having me on. Look forward to doing more of these. Next time, you're going to have Rob on. Have a notepad, have a pen, and learn. It'll be great. Talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Lance. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Well, we got it straight from the horse's mouth. I'm sure we got it from the right end of the horse, which is the first task, and I think we did. And truly, what we went over last night as a leadership group, same thing we're going over each week, is what you just heard from Lance. He's not candy coating it, it's not holding back. I've been really impressed with that part of our relationship with Divvee. And they're all that way. Lance is particularly good because he gets all of his thoughts together, he gets organized well. Now, as a group, we've got some things going on. First, we actually have a Facebook page. Actually, it's a private group. Many of you have joined. We need many more to join. Let me see if I can do this correctly. I am going to try to share my screen so that you can see what we're doing in the group. I'll also ask Michael to pop a link into the group. Now, it doesn't have a fancy name yet because we have that group linked to a lot of the other marketing things we're doing. So when we change the name this weekend, we'll be able to change all of those links. So here, I'm going to share my screen and I'll show you what we're doing. Oh, thanks, Michael. He's popped that in. All right. Okay. All right. This is our Divvee Social Gurus closed group. We've got a lot of folks who've joined. We need more. We're nowhere near the number that we have enrolled. In fact, we only have a fraction represented so far. On this site, we're going to have a lot of the important announcements, like here in the middle of the page, you can see Darren with today's video. That was also released on the corporate page. I'll give you an address for that in just a minute. Events for the team you can find here, such as this weekly call. And when you drill into the information for the call, you're going to find things like the link to get on the call. So it's going to be easy to find out what's going on and what needs shared. Now, currently, we have the 2 scheduled calls. I know that we're going to have to add a little bit more to what we're doing for the calls because we have folks on the East Coast that need to be involved. And these 8 o'clock calls are just a little late for some folks. So we're going to be adding, and in the event area, you'll be able to see what's going on. We'll shortly post the intro call for next Tuesday, as well as the call next Thursday with Rob Sperry. In the files, we're going to start putting some documents that are going to be handy for us to use. That first file, getting started, it's this thing right here. Oh, that doesn't help much, does it? In the Getting Started document that you can pull down, you can see how to get into our Facebook group, how to get to our YouTube channel. And Michael, can you drop that link into the chat as well? The YouTube channel is beginning to be populated, and I really need some help there. We have some videos on the channel, but we need more subscribers. We need to quickly pop up to 100 so we can lock down that channel and publish it. That's on that Getting Started video. You can use that link to get there. We also have a Facebook page from corporate. That's where the video is released from Darren today, talking about where Divvee is right now. So we're going to have resources like this. I have some other documents we'll be putting up. We have some talented folks on the team that are working on things like scripting. When we have a new member that joins, somebody that's needing a little help with scripting, we'll be able to add that scripting as a file and use it as a training resource. We have some really talented folks like Thad and Travis and Chelsea and others who've been able to train and recruit large followings, and they'll be able to share some of their expertise. We also have some training that's going to be really interesting. We have some live training. It started out as Facebook live training. Michael James is putting that together. He has quite a following on Instagram, Facebook. He's always building his following, and he's been working on live training. Now, started as Facebook Live, it's extending out to Instagram and other platforms that like live video. And live video is where everything is going these days. It's expected the next couple of years that most content will go with video instead of static pictures. As much as 90% of what we see through social sharing, 90% in the not distant future. So there are skills we can develop very quickly, very easily. In fact, the way that Michael trains on it, it's pretty simple to go live and start extending your reach and your influence, which is key to what we're doing here with Divvee, building out our Divvee Social Gurus team. Those resources will be handy. Michael will be ready to launch that training shortly. He's making it available to team members, and it comes with videos. He's also working on a couple of ebook components that he's nearly wrapped up. And it's great, good training you'd expect to pay for, but he's providing it to team members, just to help out the team to be able to contribute. And that keeps us on track with some of what we're doing as a team. We still have our intro calls on Tuesday, team call on Thursday. On the team calls on Thursdays, we will be bringing Some expertise, we've got plenty on the team. We have some really talented folks like Thad, who's built and recruited large teams, Chelsea and Travis as well. We have Esther, who has done some amazing things with technology. Michael, same thing. And we have many more like them that have been successful in brick and mortar kinds of businesses, so regular traditional businesses, online businesses, logging driven businesses. We have an awful lot of talent, a lot of skills that can be shared. And again, next week we've got Rob Sperry. You might look him up, robsperry.com. Sperry is Sperry, robsperry.com. You'll start to get a sense for who he is and what he's bringing to the team. And I like the guy. I met him down at corporate, got to talk to him a few weeks back. And then I watched some of his materials, seen some of his videos. He's not the high energy jumping around on stage kind of guy. He's a little more my style. He's getting it done. He's very real, very genuine, and I like that. Okay, in addition to the weekly webinars and trainings, we're working on the live, we're working on other webinars, certainly the scripting. A note on the scripting, fortunately, what we're offering is pretty simple. So we're going to find that the scripting can be very straightforward. We'll have folks that join us that get a little nervous about sharing the Divvee idea, and they'll see very quickly it's a simple concept that can spread very easily. Okay, I've already mentioned that we have the Facebook group, so we have ours. We also have the corporate Facebook group, and then the YouTube channel, where we're going to continue to populate the channel with information from our team, and that'll give you resources you can use as you're working out, as you're working with your network now. And then finally, we will be launching a member-only library. That's probably a few weeks out yet. We're going to do that through a ClickFunnels library, which is a pretty nifty way to house a library for all sorts of training, all sorts of tools that we can share with the team, so that you'll have plenty of resources as you onboard your new recruits and bring them in. I like to think that we'll get to the point that we can house most or maybe even all of the training in the member library, so that we can share very quickly the tools and the resources that we need to share with our team. So that's what we've got as far as what's going on with the team. Now, as far as us individually, we've got back office stuff going on. I know that the pay system, that's the commission payment profile, it's going a little slow. If you got your 100 activities done back in February, then we're going to get paid March 24th, but you have to have that commission information in. And here in the United States, that would be bank information that you're providing actually to a secure encrypted third-party vendor. Divvee is not gathering that information. It's a third-party vendor with encryption to protect your bank information. We still have a few days to get that done, but keep checking back to get that. In fact, I can check mine right now. I keep getting an error. I've been trying the last hour or so. Yeah, it's that error. I suppose some of you have seen that same error, that the GPG payee is not recognized. I know they've got quite a bit of traffic trying to push its way through the system. Okay, next we've got our dashboard. Some of our dashboards look a lot like this, where we've got maybe one person with a picture and a whole bunch of white circles. It's really handy to have the pictures. So if you can upload your pictures, that would be great. Now, I have found that for some reason, this is not a Divvee thing, but I found that if I drop a JPEG file, it turns the file. It turns the picture. If I drop a PNG, then it doesn't get turned. So we've got a few folks like, oh, here's Ann Bailey, that needs to go in and complete her profile and upload her picture, which will be helpful so that we can keep track of who's who. All right, I'm going to close out of that and go back and see if we have any more questions. Let's see. If the commission payment profile does not show up there, what should I do? Don't worry yet, Logan. We're working on that. I've had the same problem. We've got some folks who've had good success. We still have a little ways to go in getting the GPG system work out. Part of it's just having enough bandwidth. Today is the 16th. The payment is a week away. The payment for the commission for back in February, for February's activities. So we still have a little bit of time, and I'll keep checking back. And as soon as I see that it's up and working well, I'll post something on our team Facebook page so that we'll be able to spread the word quickly. And as far as that Facebook page, we've got maybe 20% of the folks on our team that are connected to that Facebook page. That's where we'll disseminate a lot of information. I'm not a real fan of using just plain old Facebook, but when we use the tabs at the top so that I can drop documents, well, actually any of us can drop documents and schedule events, that's going to be pretty handy. That part I like, with those tabs across the top. We can keep things organized and on track. Esther is asking, what are the functions that we still cannot do on the web version? Well, Esther, I know we can't do enrollments. Of course, enrollments have stopped temporarily while we upgrade the enrollment system. Are you asking about any other functions in particular besides the enrollments? I know we can't do that, and we haven't been able to do the daily activities, and I don't think we'll ever be able to do those on a regular computer. We can do those on an Android device that's a mobile device. I do think Divvee will stay mobile-centric. As far as updating personal information, you should be able to update all of that online. If you log in online through Divvee.social, you should be able to update your personal information, do the questionnaire that Divvee has, just kind of get to know you. Also put in your banking information. All of that's in the profile online. And you should be able to do that. I know it's been a little sketchy, but I've been in today quite a bit working with several folks, and we've had good success through the profile tab, getting things up to date, other than the commission payout. That's the only part that seems to be glitchy at the moment. All right, just checking all the messages. I think we've answered everything. Are there any other burning questions at the moment? I do need help getting everybody plugged into Facebook, and we do need to get those subscriptions for the YouTube channel. That would really help the team. And on our side, we're going to continue with our marketing and our networking. We're working with some Facebook strategies. Right now, we're finally into the testing. Even though Divvee is pausing briefly, we're still working on ads so we can test the messaging. So we're spending a bit to find out which ads work, which get folks' attention, which gets them into a webinar, for instance, like the webinar on Tuesday. We're testing some things now just to make sure that we have the right eyes on and we're getting the right attention. Let's see. Oh, hey, Kathy subscribed with 4 addresses. Fabulous. Yeah, we really need that. If we get up to 100, then we can lock everything down and make public what we want to make public. So I appreciate that, Kathy. Let's see. The people we plug into Facebook have to first be members. Well, Esther, I'll let you use your discretion there. It's a closed group, but currently we're letting in whoever asks to come in, as long as everybody is cordial and helpful. And in that case, I think it's great at this stage to let them see what we're doing, how we're doing it. Somebody would have to get a little unruly or a little unkind to not be part of the group. We certainly want to be able to share our tools and share what we're doing. So we would be happy to accept whoever you would like to send that direction. I think that would be great. Much like Divvee, we don't have a whole lot to hide. We're willing to share. I do know that some of the sharing is a little challenging. Not that we're having difficulty letting go of assets, but we have one asset, for instance, which is our Powtoon video, which was pretty labor intensive. Getting the scripting, the voiceover, all of the animation work. There are a lot of hours there from Michael and also from Tyson Bailey putting that together. That one's a little hard to share, but we're working on that. Michael and I have been working on changing the script so that we take out some of the information that was really tied to Divvee Social Guru, such as that enroller code, which we thought we'd be able to use with an online link. Now, the link is coming back, but that doesn't solve the problem with the video, and that is that it's so tied to the gurus that it's not easy for you to share it in your marketing. But that's being worked on, and we should have something to share the first of the week. At least that's our plan. Mark signed up his wife. Haven't been able to sign in at all on the app nor the back office. Well, I would actually try tech support. I wouldn't have said that, and well, I actually would have been reluctant to say that until I started getting through to tech support yesterday. I was starting to get some pretty good answers to questions. If you go to the regular corporate page, so Divvee.social, and you look in the menu, you can find the address for the support, and there are also some support questions that are answered. I simply emailed, but when I emailed, initially I emailed on behalf of somebody on my team. And I was told that it was great that you emailed, we could help them out, but they need to email directly with their name, their email, their affiliate number, and a quick description of what they need. And they should be able to fix it on their end. If you attempt that and you don't get a good answer by Monday, message me on Facebook and I will connect with somebody there at Divvee that can help us out. I can see you sent them an email a week or two ago. I was in the same boat with several folks. I was not getting responses until this last couple of days. Yesterday was the fastest I've gotten so far. I got a response in about 90 minutes to a request that I sent in. So they are getting better. I know they've been backlogged, but I know they're getting better. Anyway, try the support email, and if that does not work, message me on Facebook, and I will get in contact with somebody there. Lance has been good about connecting me to the right folks. Preston, who's one of the marketing guys, but is as tech savvy as any marketing guy I've ever met. They are good about helping out. If any of the rest of you have 4 email addresses, do like Kathy did and subscribe to that YouTube channel. I used a couple of mine, like Michael used a couple of his. It'll quickly get us to that 100 number. That would be really, really helpful. Okay, now in the meantime, I'm still encouraged about Divvee. I wish we were up and running. I wish I was cashing checks, but I wish that of any business that I'm involved in when we're in the startup phase, I want it to go faster. I always want it to go faster. I'm okay with some of the bumps and some of the jostling. It's not perfect, but I still see good things. I'm able to look over the shoulder of some of the executives to see some of the inner workings because of connection I've got there at Divvee. And they're making progress. They're making good progress. I'm certainly not giving up by any means. In fact, we're plowing ahead just as vigorously as we were several weeks ago. It hasn't changed our approach. Hasn't really changed our enthusiasm. So just hang in there. If you have questions, message me. If you have topics you want us to cover in the calls, by all means, speak up. I appreciate having you all on the call. Appreciate your time. Thanks, guys.